Really excited for this difference. So on our old rings, it was a dual accessory. It was the same kind of idea as with the paddles, where you would, you know, sandwich things. You could stack them. Also, it has the rings here that you could Velcro them and keep them there, and the Velcro here so you can secure around someone's limbs. But the new ring, it's smaller. Okay, the smaller it is, the more focused the PEMF is going to be. It's part of the equation that influences your intensity of your PEMF. And this is only one ring, it's not stacked. So the idea behind this, it's very rigid, it's hard. I will have to confirm the amount of copper loops in here, but the idea behind this is to be able to get into some of those hard nooks and crannies, and also doing your face and stuff. There's a lot of stuff going on in the head. There's lots of, you know, people trying to get their thyroid. We apparently have tried to make like a neck pillow kind of accessory, but it was never able to work. So I think this is the answer to that. So this is also the accessory. It's our most powerful accessory. And it was what people would use on their hands and feet for arthritis, wrists, that kind of stuff, because you need a lot of intensity to get into those areas. So let's, okay, I'm feeling, we're gonna start with my hand, and I'm gonna switch back and forth between each area and compare the same intensity. So yeah, I'm feeling it in, I've broken my hands many times. I'm a horse trainer, and just kind of happened. I'm feeling it in two of those spots. I had a boxer fracture, spiral fracture in my ring finger. Okay, let's see what the sensation is. Again, this is first time I'm using this, so. Oh, wow, yeah. Oh, that is strong. Hold on. So I didn't change the intensity at all, so. That's the same sensation. Wow, okay, yeah, that feels really cool. Because I feel like that's a complaint from people with hand and feet issues, is like you like feeling that pulsing sensation, right? Like it like lets you know, like, oh, it's getting right in the area. Like that's half of what makes PEMF amazing. Also, oh yeah, on this accessory, it's bi-directional. So the PEMF is coming out of both sides at the same intensity. So you can go like this. Let's try doing that with these. Yeah, I'm not really feeling anything. Okay, there, I'm feeling it in my palms there, but I'm not feeling it in that fracture, the way that old fracture, the way I did when it was sandwiched versus holding that like that. That is really cool. I don't know if you can. Okay. The other area, so face, I'm gonna turn it down for this. There's a lot of people that use pulsing in the mouth, the teeth, the jaw. I have it quite low. But again, these are really big compared to that. So it's a little awkward to hold this up like this, right? I mean, it's fine, but I can't really get into the neck, right? Like that's uncomfortable. That's not going like that. I can do it back here. Get this on my old shoulder injury. And this kind of sinks to that, but you can, this was one of my favorite things to do with people. Sometimes it would cut through in different ways. And then also on the foot, when you're doing ankles, you could put your feet through here. Was sometimes useful for people with ankle injuries, plantar fasciitis, bunions, people with all sorts of stuff going on in their feet, diabetic neuropathy. And I'm not feeling the pulse, you know, like there we go. You can see my toe is pulsing a little bit with it, but the sensation is not particularly strong, and the machine is quite high. Sandwich. Yeah, I'm feeling it across the top of my foot. Doing my calf, that always feels good. I have a lot of calf tension. Okay, let's try the new one and see what we got. Going on the face, I'm always gonna go really low because I don't know what's gonna happen. Also, what is cool about this is you can, yep, that is intense, y'all. Oh, my sinuses. Yeah, okay. The strength on this is great. And then look, I can get this in my neck. And it's not awkward. I'm not having to do that, and I can just hold it. Anybody who's been wanting something for necks, here you go. This is it. Oh, wow. Yeah, and I'm feeling it all the way down the back of my bicep into my elbow from here. And then because it's bidirectional, my hand is also getting, oh, that feels, that's amazing. New favorite accessory, y'all. And then back. Just curious. Okay, let's see. Hand, wrist. Yeah. It's pretty amazing. Can't really fit a hand through here, but that's okay. Yeah, I'm definitely feeling more tissue in a very intentional way pulsing. All right, let's try the foot. See what I can get on here. I feel like I should probably sit a little bit better. Okay, so the calf is not quite the same. I feel like I'd probably use the paddles then for, ooh, hi. No, they're the same. They're the same intensity coming out of each side. I'm definitely still getting, you know, a good sensation from it. Oh, there we go. And the way they explained in our training is using this as like a hotspot finder. Like you can scan through the body and find those hotspots. And then if you don't quite like exactly how it's getting in there, if it's not that satisfying, intense pulse, you can then change over to a different accessory for that area. Let's see if I can get. There we go. Definitely getting, oh yeah, there I'm feeling it in the bridge of my foot. I'll try putting it on the ground, see if that makes a, yeah, there we go. Feeling it in my foot. One of the accessories that they recommended for feet was the Cube. For it's very intense, and we'll try out that the new Power Cube. It's supposed to be more intense than the other one, which that's the only accessory that I don't have the original to compare to, because it is out with a client currently. Yeah, I feel like it's not as strong in the foot as I kind of hoped it might be, but it's still getting those areas. And again, I think knowing that this is there for the neck is so amazing. And then another area, there's a lot of pulsing people are using for going in the head, and it's nice to be able to keep it lower and get a more broad pulse. They're using, you know, transcranial magnetic stimulation as the term for utilizing PEMF on the head and the brain. Sorry, transcranial in the brain. Helps people with all sorts of things going on in their brain. They use it for PTSD, anxiety, depression, Alzheimer's. I'm just checking out the delivery, like how it feels. It's very smooth still. It's not uncomfortable. Okay, that's fun. This is definitely your go-to for necks. Okay, let's switch over. We're gonna do the power pad versus the square pad. This was our old large square pad. The orientation of the copper, again, is spiraled out from the center. So the center is the most intense. I really like that because I have a sciatic issue. So I liked to kind of squish my hip right in here where it sat on that, and it would sing to my sciatic. That was my favorite. So let's just, okay, I want to kind of show this. So this was very, very bendable. Nothing wrong with it, but I kind of like the way this fabric works a little bit better. This, it feels like it's going to retain its shape really well, and it's super duper bendy, which is kind of nice. So let's put my square pad in my favorite position. We're gonna sing to my lower back. And you can use these accessories on any material that doesn't have a lot of metal in it, you know, so it's not arcing. So my couch is fine for it. Yeah, feel it right in my right lower back. And then if I want to get into my sciatic, I go like this and bend it. Yep, there it is. Hi. Hi, old friend. That's that compensation pattern from my left knee. And then I'm going to do my shoulders. Feel it in this right shoulder where that injury was. And just the pulsing. All right, let's see where we're at with this guy. Again, this is that blackjack color. There's 3 new colors. There's glistening gray, the blue, and then the blackjack. What's nice with this compared to the chair pad is you can go more intense because you're not going to be limited to the area of most sensitivity, right? So you can like sit on it and get in your quads. The smaller the accessory is, the more power you can get. Yeah, this is a much more uniform pulsing, which was the intention. I feel it in that spot in my shoulder. I can kind of move around. Very cool. Ooh, hi. Okay, yep. I'm gonna turn that down just a little bit. That's interesting to have it more sensitive in my hip than my upper back. That isn't the trend usually, unless there's a lot of cellular compromise in the area. I like that it's getting that my sciatic, my area that bothers me, but it's also getting this left hip a lot more as well. I'm also a person that I've been pulsing for years. There's a lot of people, when you first start pulsing, you keep the intensity low and to comfort. There are techniques and reasons and times to use the intensity higher and push that intensity a bit, but it depends a lot on the situation, which requires more training. So if you want more information on that, let me know. A lot of times with nerve issues, depending on the person and how comfortable they are with everything, the higher you go on the area, the quicker it's, not maybe necessarily quicker, but it might cause it to flare up, a nerve issue, but then it will go away. Yeah, I like that sensation. I just like in general how the new accessories, like you feel more universally. And I think that's that added power, which is quite cool. Let me see how I feel in my quads. Yeah, there's definitely way more in my right quad consistently. Right thigh. That's a nice feeling. If you're not getting enough power from the chair in your quads and hamstrings, this is definitely the way to go, because that's getting quite high. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, I'm curious. Let me see if this how this compares to the old square pad. I'm a little nervous to turn it on that high. Let me go on here slowly. Okay. Yeah, it's definitely getting the intensity, but it's not as uniform. It's just I can tell where it spirals out from the center. It's getting that spot versus that uniform sensation. So I'm getting like a hard knock there. This was our go-to accessory for people who had pelvic floor and urinary tract things. You would sit on the square pad like this and kind of lean until you feel the pulsing in that area. And that was the new power pad was accomplishing the same thing. Okay. And then let's go to the cube. I'm most curious about the new cube on feet. So we'll start there. I don't have the old cube with me to compare. So yeah, I just have to go off what I let's see. Put it on the top. I will. No. Okay, not like that. All right, let's do this. Let's get new cube. The cube was what we used a lot on necks before, because you could get into the base of the skull here. And the goal with this one, it was uniform in the last cube, but this one's more intense. Yeah, I can feel that in the back of my neck. A little bit. Oh, that's nice there. Yeah, there's definitely more strength to it. I like hitting that. This is my favorites, but this and my sciatic are my favorite spots to get after when I'm pulsing. It's nice because it gets under the scapula where, you know, a lot of hands-on manipulation struggles to get, so it really gets into tension that other people can't get, other types of technology and accessories can't get to. Go down our back. Yeah, I like that. Our old square pad was my favorite accessory. I used to sleep on it all the time because it's thin enough and kind of comfortable to utilize that way. Yeah, I like this. Oh, I like this even more on the pelvic floor. Yeah. That feels nice. Let's go to hamstrings, quads. I think the other one, the power pad, would be better for this. Because you can probably also fold it over. And then you know what I want to do? I'm curious for feet. Let's try out the paddles, the new paddles. Because I personally, without having the old cube here to compare, it's hard to say, but I want to see what my go-to would be. Would it be the new ring or these paddles? Okay, try stacking them. I feel like they're funny, so you can see what I'm doing. No, it's not really. I mean, I'm feeling it. It's just not getting me the response that I want. The way I was getting it in my hands earlier, I'm not getting that same vibe. Let's see. Nope. Okay, let's try that power ring. You guys are getting to learn with me. Hope that's not. Oh, that's so. Yeah, there we go. That is definitely what I would want to be. I want to know that you can see the pulsing in my foot. Go here. Yeah, that's getting in there. This way. Oh yeah. I think that's getting me the most response in my foot. And again, even when it's low intensity, you're still getting PEMF to the area, right? There's machines that you don't feel any pulsing whatsoever, and they're still delivering PEMF to the body. This is getting my into my calf. I do like that. I do have a tendency to get shin splints. I also nailed my shin the other day on my car trying to wrestle a toddler into it. And then this right here is my, yeah, right there on this side of my calf is, I get a grumpy knot over here from lifting. And just up here. This is definitely, I'm feeling more in my foot from here than I was from directly on my foot, which is so fun. Okay. All right. Well, that is our new accessory line. I don't have the flatbed yet. They haven't sent those out. But the new flatbed is supposed to be much lighter. So shipping is way cheaper, and moving it around is so much easier. And then it's, there's bolsters that you can get as an accessory with it. They don't just come with it. They're, the pricing is on top, but you can then shape the bed to how you want it to be instead of being stuck with the way our contour bed was shaped before, which was in a kyphotic shape. You know, it put you naturally in that way that allowed you to get into the spine, as you know, while your back was rounded like this, so it helped get into your vertebrae better. But now you can manipulate it so that you can get into each client more individually. So, all right, that was 24 minutes of accessory explanation, but I hope you enjoy that and it's helpful in helping you decide if this is what accessories will be right for you. Thanks.